For the past few years, we've watched Thanos try, and mostly fail, to get his hands on the Infinity Stones. With the release date of the Avengers Infinity War growing ever closer though, the Mad Titan looks poised to take matters into his own hands and finally grab hold of the most powerful artifacts in the MCU. Just as certain as him uniting the stones is him eventually being defeated, even if it takes some of the heroes with him. But all that remains a mystery is just how the Avengers and their allies will manage to defeat what amounts to a god with the power to wipe out existence at the click of his fingers. I'm Ben from Whatculture, and here are 10 ways Thanos could be defeated in Avengers Infinity War. Number 10. Thane freezes him. Recent set photos for Infinity War seems to suggest that Thanos' right-hand man and leader of the Black Order, Corvus Glaive, could be making an appearance. And since he made his comic debut during 2013's Infinity crossover, it stands to reason that Marvel might be using the story even more than they are currently. That would mean we'll see the introduction of Thane, Thanos' secret son who trapped him in stasis. Adapting this for Infinity War could make for an interesting plot, as Earth's heroes race against the Black Order to find the one being capable of stopping Thanos, and Thane's inhuman roots would also finally allow Marvel to give that group a strong tie to the MCU. On top of that, it could set up the film's currently untitled sequel. Like in the comics, Thane could become corrupted by his powers and turn to villainy, maybe even taking the Infinity Gauntlet for himself as a final cliffhanger in Infinity War. Then the sequel could be about the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy trying to stop the villain they helped create. Number 9. Quicksilver comes back from the dead. Now, Quicksilver may have been turned into Swiss cheese at the end of Age of Ultron, but rumour has it he might be back. After all, Phil Coulson has already proved that death is all but meaningless in the MCU. Thanks, Phil. Thanks for that. In Infinity War, Thanos' use of the reality-altering Infinity Gauntlet could have the unexpected side effect of bringing Pietro Maximoff back to life. How poetic it would be for him to then join the Avengers' last stand and play a major part in Thanos' downfall. Irony has a way of appealing in these stories after all, and it would work well, even if it robs Quicksilver's death of all emotional impact. Number 8. Squirrel Girl beats him up. Gods may fear him, but there is one name that makes even the Mad Titan afraid. Squirrel Girl. She might look and sound like a joke, but she has previously been more than a match for the universe's villains, including Doctor Doom and Thanos himself. She's actually one of Marvel's best characters, a fun and light-hearted hero who solves more problems through common sense than by using superpowers. Obviously, the chances of her actually appearing in Infinity War are less than zero now she's on TV, but it would be hilariously brilliant for Doreen and her army of squirrels to come out of nowhere and save the day at the last minute. Number 7. HELA betrays him. Lady Death hasn't even been hinted at in the MCU, so it's not likely we'll see Thanos seducing her, but she might have a ready-made replacement in Thor Ragnarok's HELA, you know, the goddess of death. From hell. That one. Villains being villains, though, there's a good chance that if HELA and Thanos get it on, she could end up betraying Thanos, taking the Infinity Gauntlet for herself, and maybe even killing him. This would again play into the idea of Infinity War having an immediate sequel, but in which HELA is now the main villain. Number 6. The Elders of the Universe intervene. It's going to take some rather immense power to take down Thanos, and the Elders of the Universe could be the ones to provide it. They are a collection of beings, each one the last survivor of their own race. Together, they've managed to amass almost godlike levels of power, and they use that to indulge in their own whims, really. We've already seen one of the Elders in Benicio del Toro's Collector, and Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster and Kurt Russell's Ego the Living Planet are also part of the gang. While these characters are mostly seen as villains, the threat of Thanos destroying all life could be the motivation they need to use their powers for good. They've opposed Thanos before in the comics, so it could be that they will do the same in Infinity War as well. They could easily serve as a form of Deus Ex Machina, using their vast powers and resources to either stop Thanos' plan, or, more likely, help the combined forces of the Avengers and the Guardians to bring down the Mad Titan. Number 5. The Vision defeats him. The Vision's prospects in Infinity War seem rather grim, since the android is only alive thanks to the Mind Stone in his forehead. It would be a huge letdown if Thanos didn't assemble all the Infinity Stones at some point in the film, so it seems Vision isn't long for this world. However, Vision's death could very well be what leads to Thanos' downfall. One of the first Infinity Gems that appeared in the comics was the Soul Gem, the mystical stone that gave the cosmic hero Adam Warlock his powers. When Thanos assembled the gems for the first time before the Infinity Gauntlet existed, he murdered Adam and took the Soul Gem from him. But it turned out that Adam's soul had been absorbed by the gem when he died, and he was able to then free himself and use his now boosted powers to turn Thanos to stone. Something similar could happen in Infinity War, with Vision's consciousness being kept alive inside the Mind Stone. This would give him the big character payoff of realizing he really does have a soul after all, and allow him to disrupt Thanos' plans by, in essence, hacking the Infinity Gauntlet. Number 4. The Illuminati forms to stop him. Marvel's version of the Illuminati is a collection of its smartest heroes who worked behind the scenes to make the world a better place. In Infinity War, the looming threat of Thanos could easily be what convinces Iron Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and possibly Bruce Banner and Nick Fury to replace Mr. Fantastic and Professor X to come together and think up a way to stop him. Strange himself has already shown that his magical powers and cunning mind are more than enough to take on gods. Dormammu! And that, combined with the genius of Marvel's top scientists and Fury's tactical know-how, should be what the Illuminati needs to come up with some sort of anti-Thanos countermeasure while the rest of the heroes buy them time. Number 3. Nebula undoes his victory. In Infinity Gauntlet, the comic arc Infinity War is based partly on, Thanos became a god and expanded his consciousness across the universe. However, in so doing, he left his body in a comatose state, and Nebula used that as an opportunity to betray him and take the gauntlet for herself. I suppose you could call her a daughter who stole from her snoozing dad for wankers. # daughter who stole from her snoozing dad for wankers. Thanos then had to team up with Doctor Strange and a group of cosmic heroes, including Adam Warlock, to battle a now godlike Nebula. Luckily, she was inexperienced in her new powers and ended up undoing all the destruction Thanos had caused. Adam Warlock then used his connection to the Soul Gem to steal the gauntlet back. It's a plot that could easily play out in the films. Number 2. Captain America sacrifices himself. Infinity War and its sequel will mark the end of Chris Evans' Marvel contract as Captain America, and what better send-off could there be than to have the Star-Spangled Avenger go out in a huge sacrifice to defeat Thanos. It would also be a fitting tribute to one of the greatest moments in the Infinity Gauntlet comic, Captain America standing alone in a hopeless battle against Thanos. He lost his life, but he refused to ever stop opposing the tyrant, proving that real heroes never back down from evil. Ideally, Cap would end up in a final battle against Thanos as the only hero still left standing, thanks to his immense willpower, sacrificing himself for a final victory. Number 1. He's defeated by a giant team-up. If there's one thing we can count on, it's that the finale of Infinity War is going to be an action-packed spectacle centered around a huge battle between Thanos and the teamed-up Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. At some point, presumably after losing the gauntlet, Thanos is almost definitely going to be taken down by the combined might of the galaxy's greatest heroes. There's definitely going to be an army of some kind to be decimated, so expect scenes like Black Widow and Gamora fighting back-to-back, or Iron Man and Rocket Raccoon arguing over a ginormous gun as the deadly blow is delivered by Mjolnir, or even Star-Lord's mystery powers, or a combination of other things. Whatever the specifics, it's going to be immense. And that's our list. Make sure you subscribe to the Whatculture YouTube channel for more lists like this, and don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. I'm Ben from Whatculture. You can follow me here on Twitter, and thanks for watching.